I know the guys haven't had much opportunity during the summer, obviously, to be together, but what sort of chemistry have you seen from your group and how they've responded maybe to the challenges of the pandemic?
I think, I answer the first part, your last part first. I think that our guys, they've handled the challenge of the pandemic, well. I mean, this has been in a real uncertain time for everyone, but I think our players have been very mature about their approach to it. And I think it's one because they really enjoy playing with each other. I think, I see a lot of chemistry and continuity already. I know we still have a ways to go with a lot of new faces, but I do see it coming because our guys have really enjoyed sharing the basketball and playing with each other. So that's been positive for us over these last several weeks.
Coach, you only have 3 seniors on this team's roster, and Darius, Avery, and Brandon. 2 of them were new to the team last year. Darius new to the team this year. What do you see from your young guys kind of stepping up as leaders in a very young roster coming into this season?
Well, we're going to rely on our seniors to lead. That's the most important thing for us. They have a lot of experience. If they hadn't played with us the entire time, they've played in other places. So we want that maturity there. Young players, we're excited about them. They have a lot of potential. They come every day with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, which you want to see from your younger players especially. And we're excited about them. They're the future of our program. And I'm really happy about all the freshmen and sophomores. They all can do some things on the floor to help us to become a better team.
Coach, have there been maybe any surprises? I mean, I know you really won't know for sure till the games get here, but has anyone maybe emerged or stepped up and might play a role that maybe you weren't necessarily expecting going in?
Well, everybody's kind of playing, according to the way we recruited them. I think the guys have really – start to, grow their game some, watching, Andreas Fuller from last year when he was injured to now, seeing the improvement in him, seeing him come back healthy. And he was starting to play really well before he got hurt. So it was disappointing, but he picked up right where he left off. I think that's someone who, you don't hear his name as much, but he's making really good contributions for us every day in practice.
Coach, last week the university announced that there will only be 25% capacity for games this season. For a team that's 25-8 at home the past 2 seasons, how do you think not having a full stadium is going to affect the team?
That's tough. We love our fans here. I think we play some of our best basketball when we've had, the arena, full and a lot of people in attendance. So we're going to miss them. But we also understand, what we're facing and every university is facing the same thing with COVID. And we're going to have to just make the adjustment. Our guys are going to have to, rely on each other a little more. We're going to have to talk to each other a little more. We don't have the home court advantage of our fan support here. So we're going to have to do a little bit extra, I think, ourselves, within our team to really be successful.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about your non-conference schedule? It's obviously loaded with 4 big, high-profile opponents. What went into scheduling that quartet of teams, and what do you think that says about your team that you're willing to schedule those kind of games?
Well, I've always scheduled, up as much as we could, and we have an opportunity this year to do the same, and we'll do it. I want our guys to always play against the best teams, and so we have this opportunity with COVID and everything that's going on. And there's a lot of uncertainty with our team. We don't know our personnel fully. There are a lot of, guys who aren't proven as of yet. But I think the best way to prepare for our conference, which is a great conference, is to play this caliber team every night. And so playing the likes of Oklahoma, playing the likes of Auburn, Michigan, Florida State, I think really just helps us as we start to go into conference play, understand the type of competition we're going to face on a nightly basis. So we're looking forward to it. I know our players are excited about it. It's a great way to start the season, and I think it'll help us in the long run.
Hey, Coach. Stetson had to shut down for 14 days this week because of one case. I'm wondering, does that weigh on your mind at all, the possibility that could happen? And I'm wondering, how often, are you delivering messages of staying safe and personal responsibility to your guys?
Absolutely. I'm relaying that message to our players daily. Wash your hands, social distance, and wear your mask. I got it down. And we're saying it all the time to our guys because, you know, it's easy to slip your mind. I mean, you get moving in life and you get away from us and you kind of forget. And so I'm always trying to just reinforce that when I can. You know, it's disappointing. I know I feel the same way probably Stetson's feel. You know, you're practicing, you're preparing, and you can have a setback like that, and it can cost you a couple of weeks, which can, you know, really set a team back because, you know, as far as conditioning, as far as, you know, your timing and your players working with each other, you lose so much. That's a very challenging thing. And so, yes, I'm always concerned about that. Every night I go to bed concerned about that. That one positive test is going to, you know, really set us back. So it's a tough time for all coaches, I think, and players as well. But we're going to get through this. And I think the best way to get through it is to stay positive and just keep working. And then, you know what, you know, all you can do is your best. And that's what I've told our guys. And that's what we're going to strive to do. And, you know, we're going to try to do the right things. If something happens, unfortunately, and someone contracts it, there's nothing really you can do about that as long as you were trying to avoid those situations.
Johnny, you can't force chemistry, but is there something that you guys can do, especially because of the fact you haven't had as much time together, that maybe helps, especially when you bring in new guys and have freshmen? Is there anything you guys do in particular maybe to help build some of that chemistry?
Well, when we're out there competing, we're out there playing, you know, we're constantly talking about, you know, what's the best thing for our team, you know, offensively, you know, we use more of a we score as opposed to I score mentality, which means guys are understanding that when we score, that's a good thing for us, you know, as opposed to, you know, being so individualistic where I scored. Well, I think you can kind of, you know, teach chemistry through understanding that, you know, we win and we lose, you know, we score, we defend. And so we use a lot of, you know, plural pronouns as opposed to singular pronouns to really try to interject, you know, what we want to see our players doing. And I think that's been somewhat helpful for us. I think our guys are understanding, you know, by film and by what we say in practice that if we can approach it that way, our chemistry will come along a little faster.
Coach, what have you seen from C.J. Walker? And I know a waiver has been applied for immediate eligibility. Are you hoping you hear back on that, you know, prior to the season beginning?
We're hopeful to hear back, you know, from his waiver. And I think he's a terrific young talent. I mean, he's a young player who can play multiple positions on the floor for us. He can guard multiple players defensively. I think he'll be one of the best defensive players as he continues to develop, you know, anywhere. I think he has the ability to do that. He's so active. He's so long. And like I said, his offensive skills are coming. You know, he's a capable three-point shooter. He can score around the basket. So, no, he has a huge upside, and we're going to continue to work and continue to keep developing him because we just see, you know, the sky's the limit for how talented that young man is.
Coach said a couple weeks ago in a press conference that Sean was the team's glue guy. He said it again today himself that he always strives to be a glue guy for the team. What has been some things that you've seen from him since his time he entered the program and his growth as far as his leadership ability as well as his play on the court?
Well, I think you start with his leadership. I mean, he came in, you know, with really good leadership qualities, you know, as far as how he talks to his teammates. You know, he's a selfless player. He's all about winning. And those things, you know, you can't fake those. And so he's been really good right away. And then on our team, and he just makes guys better on the floor, you know, by facilitating the basketball, by taking the open shot when he has it, by giving the right encouragement to a player who needs it, by trying to push and motivate somebody who may need that. So he's been very good. You know, he's been a great addition to our program. And like I said, we're happy to have him.
Coach, what can you say about your two key freshmen, Isaiah and Jameel, their early progress within the program? And with the summer being so awkward, not being able to round each other, how much do you worry about maybe that stunting their growth?
Definitely. You know, I've really enjoyed coaching both of them. They have both of those guys have enormous potential. And so we're excited every day we see them in the gym. And they're growing. They're getting better. Things are moving fast for them now because they're freshmen. And there's a lot to learn, especially without having, as you mentioned, the spring and the summer. But I love who I think they're going to become as players in our program. They're going to be terrific. They did get hurt by not being with us this spring and summer, of course, just from a strength and, agility and strength programming. They didn't get any of that. They didn't get any, of the basketball skill work that we would do with them in the off season. They didn't get any of that, which would have gave them a little bit of a head start entering now. And so it's been difficult with regards to that, because you can just see where they would have been if you could have had those 6 months back. But you know what? Again, we're not going to get that time back. I've tried to, teach our guys, you have to take a next play mentality. This is what's up next for us. Let's look forward to what's in front of us instead of behind, and let's keep moving forward, positively. And that's kind of the approach we've taken. But they definitely could have used that time. It would have helped them. And I can't imagine what they would have been if they had 6 more months. But I'm sure every program's facing the same thing.
Coach, you signed a pretty good recruit last week in Darius Johnson. I know it's a guy that, you followed through the years. Can you just kind of talk more about Darius, what you like about his game, and what kind of future he'll have with your program?
We're very excited about Darius. He's one, his leadership ability. Two, he can handle the basketball. He can play the point. He understands, from the standpoint of, how to make the guys around him better, but he's also a capable scorer himself. Very, very good competitor. He really competes. And I love his work ethic. I think he'll bring a lot of things into our program and our culture that we try to foster. That work ethic, that you're willing to, outwork people for what you want. His skill set is very, very good. And we love his leadership ability. So those are things that I think he'll help bring to the table for us.